Hello viewers. Today in studio we have a gentleman who has a wide range of experience in both advertising and marketing. He has ventured into technology that is going to be bridging the gap between the diaspora and Guyana and bringing to you, in the comfort of your homes, access to business and perhaps finance. Today we will be talking to Salahuddin Nasruddin on what he has to offer for business in Guyana. Salahuddin Nasruddin, welcome to the Ghana Chronicles Business in Profile.
Akash, it's a pleasure to be here with you. You know, I've known you for so many years. No need for Salahuddin. Salim is quite fine, and I look forward to a wonderful discussion as part of your role in really bringing the real conversation to the Guyanese people.
Yeah, if I remember the first time we met, it must have been around 2000, 2001. I was at the Everest Radio Club, and I think that's where this first meeting happened. And you know, we kind of clicked, and 20-something odd years, here we are sitting doing this.
Yes.
It really is a pleasure having you here, Salim.
Thank you.
But for those out there that don't know who Salahuddin Nasruddin is, Salim, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, thanks again, Akash. Well, you know, I've from a young kid. Well, even going back, my story is going to be long. You know what they say in Guyana: short people's story long. Right?
That's right.
So I come from I'm originally from Berbice, Albion. My parents, my father was a senior in Booker's. So we lived all over across Guyana. We lived in LBI, Albion, Skeldon, everywhere. He was very senior. When the industry was nationalized, my dad decided to leave because he was a very, very professional guy. He was a scientist in training, and he did not want any political person to tell him how to make sugar. And that's what his job, right? The chief chemist of Booker's at that time. So at that time, I was about 7, 8 years old. My dad and 5 brothers and 2 sisters and a mom, we all went to United States, and we lived. I of course went to junior high school, college in the United States. But I was always Guyanese. I always had something. I'm helping out the Afghan. I'm helping out everyone else. But I know there was a Guyana struggle also for democracy and all that kind of stuff that needed my attention, needed my time and my resources. So during high school and college, I was very active in the diaspora, pushing for free and fair election, pushing for more democracy in the Guyana society. After college and university, and I studied marketing and advertising, a group of us came back to Guyana, and we lived actually in the West Coast, Iflot village. And we were just doing simple educational, on the grassroots kind of promotion of democratic values.
Okay.
And so that was my early days. Then, of course, because of my training, I went to the private sector, and I was head of Guy Enterprise at that time.
What year was this?
Guy Enterprise, I was probably around 92, 93.
Okay.
And I was actually part of the 1992 free and fair election campaign, PPP's campaign. Guy Enterprise handled the account for the PPP to win that 1992 elections, right? So I had some memorable time with Chetty at that time. And I was young. I was probably around 22, 23 then, and so that was very nice. Then, of course, after Guy Enterprise, I was marketing director for La Parkin for many years, and so my grounding and understanding of business and what the potentials can be based on my diaspora experience and my Guyana experience. I think I have a pretty good hold on what businesses and the economy is looking for. But apart from that, I've been very active in the diaspora, advocating for better engagement, more engagement, not only talking about it, but are there structures that need to be put in place that will effectively connect the diaspora with Guyana? Because Guyana, as you know, needed so much resources, and diaspora does have access to some of this. So that's me in a nutshell. I mean, I don't know if there's anything specific, but I'm more interested in all that I've done over the last 20, 30 years to see how best we can improve and make things better. My motto, if you go to my Instagram and all that stuff, my motto is there's always a better way of doing it.
Brilliant. It's interesting that you say that about diaspora and connecting the diaspora, because one of our mandates here at the Guyana Chronicle is that we want to create a link through what we do with the dissemination of information and how we engage the people in the diaspora, which is something that we are working on at present. So perhaps you will lend us much support in that area too. You ventured deep into technology, and that technology is providing a platform, or it's providing platforms
Correct.
for people in Guyana to connect to the rest of the world for business. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, so in understanding the diaspora and their needs and their expectations, and knowing well the Guyana business landscape and how they operate, and how much help and support they need, I know there was a natural marriage that can be done between these two, or there needs to be some plug that connects these two, because you can't access diaspora, or diaspora can't access Guyana if there is no connectivity. And then when you look around the world, the whole world is changing.
Rapidly too.
Rapidly. I mean, COVID made the world change from face to face to virtual, and virtual felt as good as face to face.
Yes.
Right. So, and I was always into solution-driven projects, right? So when I looked at Guyana and we looked at diaspora, what did diaspora want to do in Guyana? And of course, administrations, current administration and the past administrations, they were very interested in tapping into the resources of the diaspora. You've got almost 1 million Guyanese outside of Guyana. You've got almost access to $50 billion in assets and revenue and finance and funding and so on. The 401k for Guyanese in the U.S. is estimated at about $20 billion. Wow. We need to access that.
We got to tap into that.
We got to tap into that $20 billion. So and then you've got all this brain power, because as brain drain from Guyana to diaspora is not a secret, right? We can talk about it.
Yes.
That a lot of people from Guyana, like my dad, for example. My dad was a scientist. He had to leave because the atmosphere wasn't right for him to thrive. He went to the U.S. and he did some fantastic stuff. There are thousands, literally thousands of them that wants to that we need to tap into, right, and bring back to Guyana. Then more importantly, and a lot of people miss this one, is the second and third generation Guyanese that are in the United States. They're estimated to be about 400,000 to 500,000. These are people with great education, excellent income, willing to travel, wants to explore their ancestry and their heritage, But where do these people go? And I have about 38 nieces and nephews, right? And they all go to Peru, they go to Chile, they go to DR, Turkey, they go to Egypt, they go to Canada, Mexico, but they all miss Guyana, and they all have Guyanese lineage in them. So when you look at what the possibilities are, I decided to figure out, there must be a technology for each one of those creating a solution for them. So my earliest creation was Guyana Works, right? Guyana Works, which is a platform where anyone in the world, and primarily the diaspora, can go on to and see where jobs are available in Guyana and post their resume, and the Guyanese company will get notification on that, and they can start that conversation. And this was early on, and I did this like in 2020, 2021, when the government and everyone else was pushing for, we need jobs, we need people with skill, we need people with skill, we need people with skills, right? So you had to create a channel for it, a pipeline. It's not going to happen just like that, right? So I created that, and I'm working with the private sector and government and so on to get that going. Of course, Guyana Works is, because of the nature of it, it's been kind of slow. But of my other platform, the other thing that diaspora wants in Guyana is they want to see Guyana.
Indeed.
They want to explore Guyana. But you know where the diaspora go for information about Guyana? They go on Google, or they go on Expedia, they go on Travelocity, Trivago. These are all booking sites.
But with limited information on Guyana, I believe.
Zero, if any.
Yeah.
Zero, if any. And it's not bookable. So I created Kaitor.com, which is a fully operational app, and it's doing fantastic business right now. What that does, it gives Guyanese tourism operators a platform to put their product, put their pictures, put their price, connect their bank, and complete a transaction. Someone from the diaspora can now see a product in Guyana and able to book it. The biggest issue with Guyanese tourism product, it's a mystery first. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like my nieces and nephews, they're not going to DR and Mexico because Guyana don't exist. They're going there because Mexico exists.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's out there for you to
see.
Yeah,
you go on Expedia, you type vacation for $500, and you see Mexico shows up. Guyana will never show up. So I want to make Guyana very visible, and Kaitor is doing just that. And the Kaitor was customized for Guyana, meaning that Guyanese hotels that are not online, Guyanese tourism operators, Guyanese activities, Guyanese festivals, everything can be put on that platform very easily and can be easily accessed by the diaspora. And that's one of the reasons why they don't come to Guyana. The Caribbean gets about about 30-something million tourists a year, right? That does not include Mexico.
Okay.
Right? So everything besides Mexico is about 30-something million. Guyana gets less than 100,000, if any, for tourism specific. We get a lot of traffic now. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. In recent times, there has been a change. When you look at when I talk to the travel agencies, they're always booked. You look at where the price for tickets are at presently, and it's always up because the demand is there.
Yeah, but the idea is to double or triple that, because a lot of that traffic is not tourism.
Yeah, it's business.
It's business, which is good.
Yeah,
which is good. But we need one of the fastest growing sector in Guyana is tourism. The oil is growing at an incredible rate. It's fueling everything else. You've got other sectors, but tourism, and the president is absolutely right. Tourism is the next best best bet for us. Mm-hmm. So I created that platform, and it seamlessly connects the diaspora with Guyana's tourism product. Then, of course, the diaspora wants to do business in Guyana. Yes. To come to Guyana to open a business will cost you a plane ticket, hotel, food, sporting with the boys, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're looking $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 just to register a company in about 2 or 3 weeks. And it would not be registered in 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
As you know. So I work with an attorney in Guyana, and we've developed a platform called Guyana Legal. For those of you who know, in the U.S., there is a platform called LegalZoom, where you can go and you put your name and all your information and all that stuff, and you get your company registered. So we kind of replicate the same process for Guyana. So instead of coming to Guyana and spend $8,000 on trying to register an LLC or an incorporation, you can do it online for $5,000 to $1,000 US.
Wow.
And that's a very functional platform that makes anyone, including Guyanese in Guyana, they can go online at guyanalegal.com and register a company. And of course, the idea there is not only to register a company. There's a lot of legal services that Guyanese in the diaspora, 1 million of us, would like to access in Guyana. We need to put all that online, whether it's power of attorney. And I see they've just passed the bill on e-signatures and all that kind of stuff, which works very well now. I think that could only help to expand that platform and make it more easier to use now. Now that we can do that, because we couldn't do e-signature before. So Guyana Legal provides a great entree for diaspora to access services in Guyana at a more rapid pace, much more affordable, and ultimately expand the economy. The other platform, and I don't want to bore you with a lot of these things, but I'm just highlighting the key ones.
No, it's necessary, Sally.
Yeah, the other one that we developed, my company, was Guyana Investors. And Guyana Investors is a platform that allows anyone around the world, especially those in the diaspora, anyone in the world, especially Guyanese in Guyana, to go online and create a project. So, I want to open up I have 50 acres of land in quarantine, and I'm looking for an investor to do cabbage, canning, blah, 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 right? So you can go and build a project there. And once you build and you submit that project, it goes to banks. Not only banks, it goes to private investors, people who have money that are looking for projects in Guyana, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, and that one is going to skyrocket once we have some more things into place. But that one is very operational right now. We have on that platform Guyanese investors, Guyanese banks, as well as international investors that are looking at Guyana. So if you've had a project, Akash, that you want to do, you can go to Guyana Investors, build. So the biggest issue with people who have ideas and entrepreneurs in Guyana, and I work with them a lot because I get calls every week, is they're not able to put their ideas on paper. And if you can't put your ideas on paper, an investor's not going to talk to you, right? So
absolutely,
our platform allows you to just throw your ideas on, and it generates a business plan. It generates a business plan for you that the investors can look at. And that business plan is delivered to the investors' inbox. So they say, wow. Ping, yeah. we've got a project in Guyana. This guy owns 50 acres. He's looking for a partner that can bring $2 million and on whatever it is,
That is absolutely amazing, because before you reach to that part, I was going to ask you if this can be a version of Shark Tank.
It's very it has that effect.
Exactly, because if I have something in mind and I know that I have a vision of something that I believe can really work. Now, I don't have the capabilities of putting that into a business plan.
Absolutely.
Or create a business model of how this works. Let's say I want to make ceramic cups, but my ceramic cups that I want to make is with a twist. Yep. And I see it as a viable business. Can I go on that website, put my ideas there,
absolutely,
just as I see them, and
yep,
somebody's going to look at that and see the vision that I'm.
And that's the function of the platform, to organize your ideas and your thoughts, because we ask you some critical questions.
Yes.
In creating that profile. And once that profile is created, it goes to people who are looking for projects in Guyana. You know, in fact, I don't know if you know, but one of my clients is the government of Barbados, and we did the Carib investors platform.
Okay.
And that's only for agriculture. And this is the government that's doing the same thing that you and I are talking about, but for the agriculture sector. You know, whether it's chicken, whether it's produce, whatever it is. You know, but coming back to Guyana investors and coming back to Shark Tank, if you know Michael O'Leary,
yes,
he has a platform called StartEngine.com. StartEngine.com. StartEngine.com is the exact same thing as Guyana investors. In other words, you can go to StartEngine and you can build everything, and once it's in there, companies can access it, investors can access it, or it is being pushed to investors. So if your profile, if we know of an investor that's looking for more agriculture or more tourism, your project will be channeled in specific direction. So those are some of the ways. So, you know, Diaspora wants to come to Guyana. We created a platform for that. They wanted to see the product. Our tourism product is very invisible, so we've got to make it visible. So Kaito did that. The Diaspora wants to do business in Guyana. We created Guyana Legal. Diaspora wants to work in Guyana. We created Guyana Works. You know, the Diaspora wants to invest in Guyana and see what opportunities are available. We've created Guyana Investors, and we're not going to end there, of course. You know, our company is constantly looking at ways of improving what we are doing right now, and more importantly, see where there's opportunities. In terms of technology, Guyana as an economy that's the fastest growing in the world. Guyana as an economy that with tremendous opportunities. We will not be able to maximize our full effect on what we've been presented today if we don't get technology on our side. You know, I know the current administration is very keen on it, and they've done quite a lot. But I think there's a lot more to go. You know, there's a lot more to go. And I've not even touched on some of the key areas the Guyana needs technology in. You know, whether it's in the even GCOM, you know, going more digital.
Yeah.
You know, even car license and your licensing process and GRA. You know,
yes.
Getting some of those services on. I mean, GRA is a bottleneck for development in Guyana. You know, we got to open that up.
Yeah.
Let more flow happens. So I think you know, technology is resources are great, and we do have great resources. But with the technology, that resources will stay underground, and we've got to.
Like I've always been saying to people, the future is now. We are living in the future.
Oh yes.
You know, and I'm listening to all this that you're saying, Salim, and it's wonderful. I'm even tempted to give you the O'Leary's title of Mr. Wonderful, because this is a breath of fresh air. It is so refreshing to hear that you can be sitting at home watching at this program, and you have an idea. You have an idea to create a product that is just a thought, and you don't know how to get it out there. Mm-hmm. You might be worried about copyright issues and patenting and so on. But here's a company that you can register, and nobody's going to steal your idea.
Yep.
Are there guarantees for this though?
Well, I mean, well, we don't ask for proprietary information.
Yeah.
You're looking for an investor, so investors, you're going to present to investors what investors need to know. What do investors want to know? They want to know, what is it that you want money for? Is there a market for it? Mm-hmm. You know, how much money do you need? You know, do you have competency? You can't tell me you want to do ceramic cup and you've been you know, a reporter all your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So if you've been manufacturing chairs, but you want to get into ceramic, there's some synergies there, right?
Yeah.
So some of the key areas that investors need to know, we are grabbing. You know, your proprietary details needs to be protected, and
absolutely,
you know, needs to be protected. So I mean, somebody can come on and a lot of these don't have to be proprietary. I mean, Guyana is at base level.
Yes.
So I mean, if we don't need that proprietary kind of injection in the economy. We need 20 engineering company. We need 20 manufacturing company, whatever they're manufacturing, coconut oil, and the world is so huge that even if you want to do a coconut factory, and I want to do a coconut factory to do oil and whatever, right? There's room for that in Guyana's economy. And I know, and speaking to investors, I know that things like that, they're not looking for exclusivity in a market space. What they're looking for is getting the production done because there's a demand out there for these things.
Exactly.
You know, and one company can't do it. You need multiple companies. So I don't think Guyana, we are looking so much at the proprietary side of things. It's more so how fast are you able to run in the current economy and inspire investors.
Yes. And the reason I ask that because this is a question that would be on the minds of people looking at this program who's got an idea, but they still want to know that they're protected in some way. Mm-hmm. You know, there is so much more we can talk about, Salim, but I think this is a really, really good opportunity for people in Guyana and those living in the diaspora. And you have created that link for both sides of this spectrum to connect and to make business possible. Salim, you know, it was such a wonderful sit down with you because all of these opportunities that has been presented here on this program are ones that I think both the Guyanese people living at home and abroad will really be able to connect with. And you're really providing a link for people on both ends of the spectrum to connect. I want to thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Kash.
I hope we can do this again.
Absolutely.
And I will be checking out kitetour.com because I love traveling. So let me see what you have to offer.
Absolutely.
All right. So thanks so much.